is Eyewitness News with live breaking news.
Clashes on the USC campus as a pro-Palestinian protest. Those protesters scuffling with police. The school has closed the campus to any more people at this hour. Hello, I'm Mark Brown.
I'm Giovanna Lotta. You're watching Eyewitness News at 5. Live on ABC 7, Hulu, and wherever you stream. We begin with breaking news. The USC campus closed to the public as large groups of demonstrators stand off with police. You're looking at video from Air 7 HD of the protests this afternoon. Pro-Palestinian students and supporters from outside the school tried to set up what they called an occupation of USC's Alumni Park, and that's when things escalated with law enforcement. Eyewitness News reporter Josh Haskell joins us live in University Park. Josh, we're learning some classes are being moved online tomorrow.
Yes, that's right, at the discretion of the professors. Tomorrow, the final day of classes. Today has been dominated by protests here happening on USC's campus. That protest still going on. We've been here all day. It's been a day of high tensions. Take a look at the scene right now from the ground. As you can see, the crowd has grown a little smaller, still about 200 protesters, not just students, also members of the Los Angeles community here in support of Gaza, setting up a solidarity encampment. And as we pan to the side, we just want to show you the role of the Department of Public Safety here on campus at USC. You can see that they are in a line. Some are wearing helmets. They have been standing by all day. They have already gone into the encampment 2 times. They were successful taking down some of the tents, but not all of the tents. As we go back to Air 7, this is how things look like from above right now at Alumni Park here in the center of USC's campus. There's a large sign that says, "Let Gaza live," and protesters are giving speeches and they are chanting. It is unclear what will happen next. I want to go to some video from earlier when we first arrived this morning on campus at USC. It was a calm scene. 80 to 90 protesters chanting, sharing stories in support for Gaza, and there were some tents that were set up. That does not follow the policy for protests on campus. Also, we're told this group did not get a permit. There were also signs tied to trees. That did not sit well with campus police, who shortly after our arrival moved in and they started to take down some of those tents, blowing whistles, clearing the crowds. They were able to take down the signs. Some protesters actually picked up tents at one point and they started a circle carrying the tents so some could remain. About 12 of the 20 tents were taken away. One of the officers got into it with, we're told, a student protester. That protester was actually taken into custody for a short period of time, placed into a patrol car. That did not sit well with the protesters who demanded the release of that protester. That did happen, and since then things have been calm, but as we've been reporting, campus is currently closed as there are a number of people at this protest who are not students. We did interview some students on both sides of this conflict and some of the public who came out here today. Take a listen.
I woke up to seeing 4 helicopters circling campus. I got videos from my friends of a student like almost getting arrested. I've only been at USC. This is my first year at USC. I've never seen anything crazy like this, so it's kind of disturbing, honestly.
I think it's important to be able to hear our young people voicing their opinions and their feelings, and that and I feel good to be able to participate because it so saddens me to hear of so many lives being lost.
Jewish students just want to study for finals. We have finals next week. We have essays due this weekend. We have projects due this weekend. We just want to walk to class and feel comfortable and focus on what we need to get done to finish this semester. Right now, the university is acting with a level of moral ambiguity that we're seeing across the country.
Copy, Michael. Back here live, we are showing you a shot from Air 7 HD of the LAPD presence just outside of campus. We have not seen any LAPD officers on campus yet, but as this crowd has grown, DPS did call in some help from the LAPD in case they need it. There are just not enough Department of Public Safety officers here at USC to handle such a large crowd, but as the crowd slowly goes about their day, some students are leaving, going to and from class and grows smaller. It's unclear whether LAPD will have to come onto USC's campus. Back here live. Now, we are told that one of the other policies on campus is that those who are not students are not allowed to sleep on campus. As we've been reporting, there are people here who are not students. So we are told this crowd will be dispersed at some point. One student telling us, well, we got to camp out here when Travis Scott was on campus. Why can't we camp out here for Palestine? But the university's saying many of the people here, they believe are not students, and they will not be able to stay. So we, of course, will stay on this story to see what happens. Now reporting live at USC, Josh Haskell, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Josh Haskell, thank you. Chris Christie is in Air 7 HD over that situation on the USC campus. What are you seeing now, and what have you seen so far? Chris?
Well, Mark, that crowd is holding steady at around 200 people. As Josh mentioned there, you can see a peaceful but defiant crowd refusing to leave Alumni Park right next to the library here. At some point, there will be a dispersal order given. When that is still yet to be seen, but you can see right now university authorities being very tolerant of this demonstration. Meanwhile, just a few blocks away on Vermont Avenue in 36th, a whole contingent of LAPD officers waiting for further orders to execute that dispersal order. When we first arrived here this afternoon, there was a whole skirmish line of officers ready and waiting to enter the campus with full riot gear, and they have now kind of stood back. They've now taken off that riot gear. They are now in a more casual stance as they wait for further orders. Reporting live from Air 7 HD, I'm Chris Christie, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Chris Christie, thank you. And of course, we'll continue to follow the situation at USC. Stay with Eyewitness News for the latest developments in these tense protests on the campus of USC. We'll also update you on ABC7.com with the ABC 7 Los Angeles app.
Hundreds of people gathering today for demonstrations on this Armenian Genocide Remembrance Day.
The group claiming 109 years later, history is repeating itself with Armenians being pushed out of the Artsakh region. Eyewitness News reporter Rob Hayes joins us live from Beverly Hills with more. Rob.
Yeah, another big turnout today. Hundreds of people packing the stretch of Wilshire Boulevard in front of the Turkish consulate today. Armenian Americans looking for more cooperation from the U.S. government when it comes to their motherland. It's a site that's long been a Los Angeles tradition. A sprawling crowd rallying outside the Turkish consulate in Beverly Hills, remembering the beginning of the Armenian Genocide in 1915.
We continue protests, we continue to advocate because our existence as an Armenian people is still in danger.
Even if you weren't near the march or rally, it was obvious today is Armenian Genocide Remembrance Day. Countless cars bearing Armenian flags out on the roads, and the efforts to get the U.S. to recognize the genocide have been successful. The Senate declaring it a genocide in 2019, President Biden following suit in 2021. But the Armenian community says so much more still needs to be done.
109 years after the Armenian Genocide, we see that there are still traces of genocide left, and we see that with the loss of Artsakh in 2023, where 120,000 Artsakh residents were pushed out of their ancestral homeland.
Much of the frustration here revolves around the U.S.'s friendly relations with Turkey and Azerbaijan, two countries that nearly surround Armenia and are considered dire enemies by Armenians.
President Biden can acknowledge the genocide, but while he does that and lets Azerbaijan commit another genocide, it nullifies all of it, all of his words, and it makes them hollow.
Azerbaijan and Armenia are working their way toward a peace treaty. This week, Azerbaijan's president said the two countries are closer than ever before to signing a peace deal. Reporting live in Beverly Hills, Rob Hayes, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Rob, thank you. A man has been charged with murder in the fatal stabbing of a woman on a metro train this week. Elliot Noden is accused of stabbing 67-year-old Mirna Souza Araz as the train pulled into the Universal City Station on Monday morning. Araz was on her way home from work. She was able to get off the train, but she died at the hospital. Noden was arrested a short time later.
Family members expressing their anger and outrage after a woman took a plea deal in a triple murder case. Prosecutors say Nancy Jackson killed a man and his elderly parents in their L.A. home back in 2018. Eyewitness News reporter Leo Stallworth has the emotional reactions from court.
I can just tell you that justice was not done. It wasn't done.
61-year-old Nancy Jackson pleading guilty to the 2018 triple murders on the heels of a plea deal that could put her behind bars for 75 years to life. Gilbert Wright, who is not only a family member of the victims, but also an L.A. County Deputy District Attorney, saying Jackson should be facing life without the possibility of parole in a jury trial.
Everybody knows that there's this elder statute out there that says if you're over 50 and you've served 20 continuous years in jail, you can come up for parole. So in essence, that's why I say it's a 20-year sentence for committing 3 intentional, unjustifiable murders.
The family of the victims say they were waiting for the day that they could get justice, and now they say they never will, and they will never have closure.
People of this state do not get justice. The criminals get more justice than the people that are suffering from the crimes at the hand of criminals.
Jackson shot and killed 62-year-old Paul White, who suffered from multiple sclerosis, and his elderly parents, 77-year-old Orsie Carter and 82-year-old William Carter, the killings taking place in the victim's L.A. home in 2018. Wright with an emotional yet stern message for his boss, L.A. County District Attorney George Gascon.
What I would say is you are absolutely wrong for even considering this offer in this particular case, because 3 people were murdered. We're not talking about 1, and that's terrible enough.
We reached out to the DA's office regarding why Jackson was offered a plea deal, and we have yet to hear back from them. Leo Stallworth, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Let's go back to the scene of breaking news at the USC campus in University Park near Exposition Park. Let's look here live. Looks like the LAPD is moving in. Let's get more from Chris Christie. Chris?
Yeah, Mark, there has been a very sudden change in posture here. Just about 3 minutes ago, we showed you those officers by their vehicles waiting for orders to enter the campus. Well, now they have put on their riot gear, helmets and batons, and have now entered the campus officially. It's a large campus, as you know, Mark, and they are now making their way in the direction of Alumni Park, where about 200 demonstrators remain on scene. They're right next to the library. They have been peaceful all afternoon, but stubborn, to say the least, in refusing to vacate the premises. And as Josh mentioned earlier, there will be nobody allowed to sleep here overnight. It was just a matter of time before the order was given to assist with the campus police. And now LAPD is moving forward with their plan. They are now just about maybe a city block away from Alumni Park, where there will be some kind of an encounter, hopefully a peaceful encounter, as they begin to exercise and execute that dispersal order. Mark, back to you.
Okay, Chris Christie, thank you for that update, and we are going to take a short break and be right back.